Hey friends, and welcome back to the Kingshot Kickstart series where we onboard players to features that aren't explained so clearly in the game. And one of those features I get asked about a lot is the drill camp feature. I think this one is a little confusing to players because it is deceptively simple. They think there is a major strategic choice here where there actually isn't one. However, the role of the drill camp does evolve a bit as your kingdom ages, and there are actually some strategic choices on the margins. So I'll break down everything you need to know about it, but first, we should take a step back and discuss what the game developers are trying to achieve with this feature, as it makes the way you use it much clearer. If you've played other hero roster building games in the past, then you may have encountered this feature in different formats. For example, there was a resonance crystal in AFK Arena, and there's dozens of other examples beyond that, but in each of these games, there's a key problem the developers are trying to solve. On the one hand, they want players to slowly level up their heroes over time and not acquire experience too quickly. But on the other hand, the player needs to use different heroes for different things, and the developers want to encourage experimentation. However, usually there's just not enough experience to go around for all of the heroes. So this creates a situation where players may want to switch experience between heroes, and they are free to do so, minus a cooldown period. However, having to add and remove experience for each and every hero every time you want to shift your formation slightly can lead to a suboptimal experience that will quickly burn out players. So the developers use the drill camp feature as a way to resolve this tension and reduce player churn. And when used properly, the drill camp raises the floor for experience levels across all of your heroes to avoid needlessly churning experience between them. So how exactly does it do this? Basically, there are two types of hero slots. You have the instructors, which are the heroes who are already leveled and provide their experience. Then you have the drill slots, where you will put those lower level heroes to receive the same level experience as the instructors. Every hero in a drill slot will automatically be leveled to the same hero as the lowest level hero in the instructor slot. So right off the bat, this has a few implications associated with it. First, it allows you to only need to level 5 heroes and not divide your experience even further, assuming you have enough drill slots. Second, it means that you should not be spending experience on non-instructor heroes if you still have room in your drill slots. There's actually no benefit to this, and in fact the game will not allow you to spend experience on heroes that are already in the drill camp. Please note that if you add an already leveled hero to your drill camp, you will actually not get that experience back. It stays attached to the hero in a way, and any drill camp benefit is added incrementally to it. This means that experience is tied up and sort of useless since it's not having any impact. So you should actually go and check each of your individual heroes to make sure that they'd be level 1 without the drill camp, because if not, this is a sign that experience is actually being wasted. You can always remove them for free and wait for the cooldown to open up that slot again, or you could pay 500 gems if you need it urgently for whatever reason. Then just go over to the next tab and reset the level of the hero in question. So while the game does provide some guardrails to make sure you're using this properly, this is one of the key ways you could use it terribly wrong. And finally, it's likely you won't have enough slots for all of your heroes at first, and that's okay. You'll eventually keep unlocking up to 15 drill slots every time you level up your town level. So this means at Town Center 30, you can have 20 heroes in total leveled up for the experience cost of 5 heroes only. This means there is a little bit of strategy around 2 points. One is which heroes to make the instructors, and 2 is which heroes to actually put in the drill slot. I think this first point is the one that trips up new players the most who are unfamiliar with this type of mechanic from other games. There are some slight benefits for the heroes you make instructors while leveling them, but not that much. The slight benefit is that you could selectively level up one of your drill camp heroes ahead of all of the others. Meanwhile, the heroes in the drill camp slot cannot be leveled up. I could see maybe doing this to a hero in the first couple weeks of the game to get an advantage in Conquest or Arena, but you generally won't get too much benefit for this. And the reason for this is that hero level doesn't actually affect all that much on a hero. An increase to Conquest stats, an increase to escort size, which determines the number of little troops that follow the hero around in Conquest or Arena, and an increase to troop capacity, which determines how many troops you can send in Expedition mode. Importantly, hero level does not determine the attack or defense value the hero brings to troops in Expedition mode. That actually comes from increasing star level. Nor does it impact the health or lethality stats in Expedition mode, since these actually come from hero gear. So outside of raising your Conquest stats, there's actually very little impact to the expedition game mode, which is where the vast majority of return on your account investment comes from. So if you don't have enough room for fitting all of your heroes into the drill camp, then don't worry, because you'll eventually get some more slots very quickly, and some heroes work perfectly fine without a high level. For example, if you have a high enough troop tier, and have enough squad capacity from your command center as well as technology tree, then you'll still be able to send enough troops on a march to gather resources, even without those extra levels on your blue heroes. And as long as you keep building their star levels, then you can still get their expedition skills to level 5 either way. So maybe you want a hero like Olive in the drill camp in the early days for use of her Area of Effect conquest ability, as well as making sure that you can send enough troops to gather before your capacity is built through other means. But eventually, you can pull her out of the drill camp just fine and replace her with any other hero. Now, as you progress through the game, the role of the drill camp and hero experience starts to change slightly over time, so let's talk about it a bit. But first, a special thank you to my Sloth Squad channel members whose continued support helps make these guides possible. And also thanks to the Play Smarter community who've just made a new way for serious spenders to invest smarter and support my channel leveraging your in-game spend with creator code SLOTH. So if you want a trustworthy concierge-like approach to spending that follows you from game to game, check out the link below in the description for details. Now by the time your town center gets to levels in the high 20s, you'll start to accrue hero experience slower than you can raise your 5 drill camp instructor heroes. This makes hero experience a little bit of a bottleneck, and while it is somewhat valuable, I don't think it is as valuable as other potential reward items in-game. So I would not recommend getting it from Nomadic Merchant, Arena, the VIP store, Swordland, or other stores where it competes with much higher value items. You will get enough naturally over time, especially if you're diligent with pushing on conquest levels, intel missions, and beasts. Then at a certain point, you'll have accrued enough experience to make all 5 drill camp heroes max out at level 80. And this takes slightly more than 118 million hero experience. With the current pacing in the game, you will probably achieve this before you run out of room for all of your heroes to fit in the drill slots, which makes the value of earning incremental hero experience slightly less. However, don't stop being diligent with collecting hero experience from the free sources, since at some point around Generation 3, you will start running out of spots for all of your heroes. You can prolong this issue until around Generation 4 or 5 if you remove the blue heroes from the drill slots, but eventually you will need to start leveling up heroes individually again. So if you haven't yet decided on building a new generation's hero enough to meaningfully use them, then keep them at level 1. So for example, in Generation 5, I had to level up Longfei directly if I wanted to keep all of my purple heroes on the drill camp. Arguably, I could have taken out some other purple heroes that I'm not using in combat on my top 3 marches anymore, but I had enough experience accumulated already that it was not an issue, so I can just worry about that later. Remember, you can still send a joiner hero at level 1 and get the benefit of a level 5 skill for a rally. However, without hero experience, you will have less capacity to send troops for joining that rally. So if you do need to start pulling purple heroes from the drill camp, then pulling a hero like Diana might actually be a wiser choice, since by this point you'll likely overpower all of the PvE content you'd send her for anyway to save stamina. You might then want to keep the purple heroes like Chenko or Yanu leveled to allow you to send more troops in a single bear hunt march that you join to maximize your score, given the finite number of rallies that you can join. So overall, feel free to use the drill camp to maximize your returns on the hero experience you're spending in your account, but please also don't obsess over it. There's actually a very narrow scope to implement any sort of strategy in it once you understand how it's supposed to work. In the meantime, keep accumulating that hero experience even when you get all of your heroes to level 80. This will allow you to postpone having to make those hard trade-offs as you get into later hero generations and have a larger roster of heroes. Hopefully by that point, the developers will add in a mechanism to increase the number of drill slots you can use. Be sure to share this video with your alliance, particularly new players, to make sure that they are using this feature correctly. And feel free to leave any additional questions in the comments. Check out the rest of the KingShot Kickstart playlist for more breakdowns of must-know features for new players, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with the latest guides that I post. Thanks again for watching, and happy gaming out there.